excited. Today we're going to be listening to one of the guys that for me just really up my level of understanding of work ethic. So he's the author of 10X Rule. If you haven't read that book, you got to read it and listen to it. His name is Grant Cardone. So what he's going to be sharing with us is some of his success tips. And these are some new ones that I found. So I'm really excited. I've listened and read 10X Rule. Definitely check out that book. Be Obsessed or Be Average is his second book, really powerful. And then he has a lot of books online if you get a chance. Closer's Guide, really powerful. Billionaire Booklet, really powerful. So this guy came from, a tough background, 25 into drugs and alcohol, really heavy, changed his whole life around. So I really love his energy, and he's going to give us our 10 tips and get your notebook ready. So without further ado, thanks for being patient as we were on the elevator coming out of the gym. So let's get into Grant Cardone giving some success tips.
All right, let's kick things off with rule number 1, be willing to pay the price.
This is the secret of the successful people. This is what I've committed my life to doing. I told my mom when I was 16 years old, one day I'm going to be successful. One day I'm going to be successful, and one day I'm going to help a lot of people. I always say this, pay the price today so you can pay any price in the future. Pay the price now, okay? Pay the price. My buddies were traveling, seeing the world, and I didn't have any of those experiences. I've had people tell me, hey, you market too much. You market too aggressively. Take me off your list. My office tells me we hit the list too much. I'm like, what's the list for? Hit the list. That's what it's for. There's 8 billion people on planet Earth. Look, I've been ridiculed by my peers, by customers, and by competition. I've been judged for working too much, wanting too much, being too colorful, being inappropriate, insensitive, and too out there. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been threatened, I've been sued, I've been betrayed by friends, I've been ripped off, and I've been copied. 30 years, 18-hour days, not 8-hour days, not 10-hour days, not 12-hour days, 18-hour days. It's been 30 years. It's probably going to be 30 years for you too. Doubt, uncertainty, insecurities, rejection, disappointment, judgment. It's going to be 30 years of it. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? If anybody thinks you're going to be successful without paying that price, you're wrong.
Rule number 2, my personal favorite, meet the world head on.
You got to get up, you got to get out. The amount of time you spend outside your proximity or location where you sleep gives you a better chance of being successful. So get up, get out. Go meet the world head on, folks, no matter how bad it is. Okay, you got reputation problems. You got I feel bad problems. You got friend problems, you got money problems, whatever the problems are. Okay? Try this. Just get up and get out and go meet the world head on. Go meet whatever it is, okay? You got to make up to somebody. You got to apologize for something you've done. You got to make up the damage of years of neglect and maybe betrayal. And look, I've done all that. I've had all those things where I screwed up over and over and over again. My reputation sucked. I was between the ages of 15 and 25 years old. It was like I was doing everything I could just to damage my reputation. Okay, if it made me look bad, I did it. So here today, I'm gonna spend 10 days, 14 days, something like that, up here with that view. You can fix anything. I'm proof that you can fix anything. Anything can be fixed. Anything can be fixed, but you gotta fix it. You gotta fix it. You can't just sweep it under the old rug. You gotta fix it. You gotta clean up the damage. You gotta pay the price, clean up your debts, do what you say you're gonna do, become the most dependable person in your space, become the go-to person. Oh, I can put that person on stage and know exactly what they're gonna get for me. I can put that person in the game and I know what play they're gonna run. I can put that person on the floor and I know they're gonna get it done. Be the go-to person. Okay, you don't need to be funny. You You don't need to be entertaining all the time. You don't need to be the person they're talking about. You need to be the go-to person, folks.
Rule number 3, commit fully.
If you're going to make mistakes in your life, make them fast, right? If you're going to lose a deal, make them lose the deal fast. If you're not going to make any money on a deal, make sure the deal's quick, right? How many made no money on a deal this month? But it took 4 hours. That's stupid, man. See, most of you in the room, unfortunately, you listen to the media so much, you think everything's good. You think you're fine, okay? Because the media has not exposed the reality on the middle class. They talk about poverty and they talk about the rich people, and they never talk about the people in between. The people in between in this country suffer more than the people in poverty. People in poverty are actually taken care of. People in the middle are completely ignored. I'm talking about the people that make 200 grand a year and live up here and still don't have any money left over. They send their kids to school, they got 2 BMWs, they live in a nice house, they have air conditioned water and heat, right? And there's no money. So they send a little bit of money to a Keogh account and they think, okay, we're gonna retire one day. You're gonna be old one day. By the time you get to use that money, you'll be so old you won't want to use it. The only thing that's gonna change anything for you and your family is like, hey man, what am I doing here? Okay? You don't need to go work in another industry. You take the habits you have right now to the restaurant business will fail. Every business is in disruption right now. Everything is changing. You want to go trade Bitcoin? It's going to take a commitment. It's going to take ups and downs. Going to be a bunch of ups and downs in that crypto play. Everybody agree? Yeah. Okay. You want to go do the real estate game rather than the car game? I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. If you don't bring commitment and discipline and fortitude and persistence to the real estate game, you will get killed in the real estate game. There's no game that you're going to win at that doesn't require a commitment.
Rule number 4, be courageous.
Single biggest mistake I've made in my career was not spending money. It's what put me in a position to be able to buy real estate because I had money, but I had to buy the real estate. I had to use the money. Brad Lee made a comment the other day about money. Money is not to be saved and hoarded. Like it's no good if you don't use it. This is the problem with Bitcoin. When do I transact with it, right? I'm sitting on $1 million worth of Bitcoin right now. I can't get rid of it fast enough. I can't go buy stuff with it. So until that situation is resolved, right? It's why people don't hoard gold anymore. You don't keep gold because you can't exchange it. Money is to be used. For those of you out there that are like complaining about the cost of anything, the truth is that's what that money's for. The only thing, the only purpose money has is to be used. And I was scared that I couldn't produce more money. So every time I spent money, I complained about it. Today, I'm like, that's the biggest mistake I ever made. Should have been spending more money. It wouldn't have taken me 30 years. In the first 5 years, I should have borrowed money I didn't have, and I should have spent money that I did have, and I should have gone into debt to do it, to get my brand out there, to get it known. The mattress guy in your town did it. The car guy in your town did it. Whoever spent the most money, whoever put it all out there all the time, every day, on every TV, radio, and the internet, wins the battle. It's not the prettiest guy, okay? It's not. It's the guy that out-advertises, that outspends you. It takes courage to make money.
Rule number 5, don't keep your mind wide open.
Hey, a quick note out to all of you out there that believe that an open mind is important, which, by the way, I agree with you. I agree an open mind's important. You know the old saying, the mind is like a parachute. It won't work if it's open. But I want you to add one piece to that. If that parachute is wide open, you're falling straight to the ground. You understand what I'm saying? If it doesn't open, if the mind doesn't open, you're in trouble. If it opens too wide, you're a dead man bouncing or a dead woman bouncing. My point to you is this, okay? Most people do actually have an open mind. The problem is many people, they have a mind that's wide open with no filters, no gates, no protection. You listen to everyone. You listen to everyone on Facebook, everyone on Instagram. You listen to your uncle, your aunt, your mom, your dad. When the mind's too open, you get too much data and you go into confusion.
Rule number 6, work in a team.
You go into confusion.
Rule number 6, work in a team.
How important is it to have that team and And to all those who are watching that are starting out their teams, what would be the advice that you would give them?
Yeah, well, the whole solopreneur thing, I'm going to do it by myself, I'm going to work from home, it's not even real. Like, I know it's popular, you see it on Instagram, and you think some guy's doing something on Instagram, but he's not doing anything, dude. He posted an image of his car that he washes on Instagram, okay? Okay, it might not even be his car, by the way, okay? He's rubbing out his car and posted somebody else's car. He posted a picture of Edwin's car as he passed up here in the hills. So, after he freaking mowed my lawn. So, what would I tell you? Dude, you got to be on a team. I mean, like how are you going any place by yourself? You live on a planet with 7 billion people. You're like, I hear people say all the time, I'm an introvert, and I don't like people. Do you live on planet Earth?
Right.
Okay, kind of the wrong place to introvert. So, people, I know people that can't swim, man. I'm like, 2/3 of the planet is water.
Hey, jump in this pool, right?
You might want to get your strokes on, dog. I mean, there's a chance in your lifetime that you're going to need people, and you might need a backstroke, right? You might need to be able to hold your breath at some point. So like, I don't understand why people aren't getting prepared. We live on a planet that is basically, it's got gravity on it, it's got an atmosphere, and there's one common thing, whether you're Chinese, Hispanic. I don't think Hispanic's even a group, is it?
Not Latinos, Hispanics.
Latinos,
yeah,
man.
Sure.
Okay, sorry, man. Okay, you got blacks, you got whites, you got Italians, you got all these people, right? Koreans. We got all these people, but the truth is, man, economics bind us all together. Okay, I go down to the grocery store and there's somebody from Korea in there. I'm trading money with that person. Okay, that is the exchange. You're on a team. Your team can be your team that has the goal they want to go get is to hit a target. But part of your team is also the people you're selling to.
Right.
And part of your team is also, another team is the community you live in. And another team is your church. Yeah. And your family, man. These are all teams, right? And your job and my job, I mean, if you want to be all alive, all in the deal, your job is to you need to be a freaking super champion of all these teams.
Right.
Not just one team.
Rule number 7, embrace every moment.
How many of you want to make more money? Pay attention then. You can't make more money if you don't know what we're doing here. So the first thing is to decide, hey, am I in the right place? Those guys had to walk in that stadium last night and say, hey, we in the right place? Yeah, man. Okay. And then they probably said, man, we got a shot here. We got a chance to win a Super Bowl, right? You came to work today. This is not a Super Bowl. Unless you want it to be. But I'm going to tell you something. If you don't get your life ready right now, if you don't start acting right now like you're in the Super Bowl, you're never going to make one anyway. Even when you do make one. I mean, if you look at that kid last night, what's his name? Nick Foles? He's been sitting on the sidelines for years, overlooked for years. What you do right now, every day, even if you hate your job, I promise you this will happen in your life. If you can learn how to embrace every moment like this is a Super Bowl, one day you're going to get your shot. You're going to get your shot, but your shot will not show up if you're not ready. Because even if it shows up, if you're not ready, you won't be able to see it.
Rule number 8, have loftier goals.
What advice do you have the person to up their ambition? Just up their ambition.
Yeah, well, you got to quit saying nonsensical stuff like, I'm happy where I'm at and we're good, we're all good, Business is good. Everything's good. Yeah. I'm better off than somebody in that. You got to quit comparing yourself to other people. Yeah. You got to quit talking like the middle class. Yeah. Like you've somehow arrived because somebody in Iran is suffering. Yeah. You're good until you're not. There's nobody watching that gives enough money to charity. Yeah. Okay. Everybody watching should be able to give $1 million a year to charity, but you can't. You know why you can't? You would if you could, but you can't because you didn't. Yeah. You didn't produce enough because, by the way, it's not your money anyway. Yeah. Somebody else gave you the money and you pass it on. Most of you are like, I'm really charitable, I'm really good, but you never do enough. Why? Because you never had enough. Yeah. And so because you didn't produce enough, because you didn't work enough, because you didn't expand enough. So I would just say to people, look, have some loftier goals.
Rule number 9, surround yourself with success.
So you know what I do? Every time I'm having trouble, every time I'm like, man, I don't think I can get to where I'm going, I just start looking at the top. I don't look at the bad facts. All I do is I start searching. Tell me about wealthy people, facts about wealthy people, anything. What are they doing? What are they buying? It just gets me out of my problem, right? It gets me to think bigger. The first plane I bought this plane because I saw other wealthy people making moves. I'm not an irresponsible person, okay? Like, I have always been a very frugal person, but the frugal was hurting me, not helping me. Your network is your net worth. How rich you can get has something to do with who you're hanging with. How rich you can think has something to do with who you're hanging with, okay? How smart you are has something to do with your surroundings. If you hang out with dumb people, you're going to end up dumb. If you hang out with junkies, you're going to end up being a junkie. You hang out with criminals. I'm not talking about the people that go to jail. I'm talking about all the people at your office right now that cheat their employer and cheat themselves. You hang out with crims, you end up being a crim. If you want to build a network, number one thing, commit to building a network. A network, by definition, is not, if you're building a new network, is not the people you're already with. It's how do I add people to my network? So number one, you got to commit to building a network. Number two, who do you want in the network? Who is it? Most of you just go for more people like you have already in your network. I want new people, new characters, new personalities, new thinking, new ideas. The old adage, if you're the smartest person in the room, you in the wrong room. And number three, when you start building this network up and you start meeting the people, okay, number two is who do you want to meet? Who are you going to add to the network? You go 9,000 people in a room, you don't need to meet all 9,000. You need to meet maybe a list of 30 or 40 people. Who do you want to meet? Number three, when you meet them, focus on them, not on you. It shouldn't be, here's my card, I'm a chiropractor, this is what I do, can I give you an adjustment? Dude, it should be like, who are you? How can I help you? What are you doing? Where do you live? Okay? What projects are you working on? How can I help you?
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, you can do anything.
So I was a car salesman when I was 25 years old with an accounting degree. I was the only accounting degreed car salesman in the state of Louisiana. I hated myself for it. I'm making $3,000 a month. Nobody would hire me as an accountant. 1 out of 4 jobs in Louisiana you couldn't get. 1 out of 4 people, 25% unemployment. And I just said, how do I go from $3,000 to $4,000? That's all I want to know. But I started paying attention, okay? Who can get me that money? I don't have it. Who's got it? I needed shoes. I needed jeans, right? I needed a new shirt. I had these white shirts. I'm a car salesman. I need nice, clean, crisp white shirts. People believe in me. I need some training. I don't know how to talk to people. I hate sales. I hate it. Still hate it today. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars providing sales programs to corporations. I hate sales. So the fact that I hated it didn't mean I don't do it, because you're only going to be paid 2 ways your whole life. You will never be paid fairly, ever. So give up the whole I'm not being paid fairly bullshit. You will never, ever be paid fairly. You're going to be underpaid most of your life, and then one day, if you're lucky, you'll be overpaid. I'm going to tell you something. When I made $4,000, that was the most important money that I've ever made in my entire life. No money has ever made me happier than that $1,000. Because that $1,000 made me realize I can do anything.
Nice. My boy Grant broke nuggets down. Rox, what you got? Hit us with some.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. So some of my biggest takeaways, I love the very beginning when he talked about be willing to pay the price. He said, pay the price now so you can pay the price later. And really what that meant for me, it's like sacrificing and doing the work now so you can be able to do later. You know, he talked about working 18-hour days for the past 30 years of his life, you know, and I feel like sometimes, like I remember for me, like before inside like my past, right, I was willing to work 5 to 8 hours, and I don't mean on my Herbalife business, I mean like as a server, and then I was like ready to enjoy my day, ready for the weekend and all this stuff, but it's just like, I can't even afford to do that. You know, and now since I've been with Herbalife and since being my own like boss, our own boss is just like willing to do the overtime work and the no matter what it takes. So when something does come up, it's like, no problem, I got it. Like something happens like with your family, no problem, I got it. Like we get to be like the backstop for our family, for all of that. And it's just like, if you're not willing to pay the price right now, you're gonna pay the price later. And later when it does come, are you gonna be ready to pay it? So that was one. I love how he talked about that there's no gain. You will win without commitment. Like, if you want to win at anything, it takes like 100 and like 200% commitment. You can't be half in, half out and expecting to win a game if you're not willing to commit. So whatever it is that you choose to do, like, be willing to commit, whether it's in your results, whether it's in your entrepreneurial like endeavors, like whatever it is, you have to be 100% committed and give it your very best every single day. And then I loved how he talked about having loftier goals, like having bigger goals, because he said, like, we're not charitable enough. Like, you can't give $1 million. Why? Because you don't have that kind of money. And it's just like, and like the way, for me, the way that I came off, it's like, if you don't have that money, that's your fault. Like, it truly is. Like, there's no excuse, there's no anything, there's no reasons why, like, we can't be, do, and have absolutely everything. But it all comes down to, are we willing to put on that, like, put in the 18-hour work days so we can be able to pay any kind of price. You know, it's like when he was talking about the whole money and being able to spend money. You know, like, for me, a big part of, like, when I was growing up, there was always we don't have money. We, like, it was always like backed up. And then once I had a job, it was like, well, I don't have any money, to now, like, we live good and we have a great, like, we have a good life, where I have to catch myself too, because sometimes, like, we'll be out and about shopping and I'm like, no, I don't want to get that. Like, I'll be getting to the cash register, you guys, and I start looking at the stuff. I'm like, do I really need this? No. And then I'll ask Aubrey, like, what do you think? Like, should I get it? Like, but it's that old mindset, because before it was just like, I didn't have the money to spend. And it's just like, now that we do, like, it feels amazing. And it's just getting outside of that. Why? Because, like he said, like, money is meant to be spent. And if you are not making the money, then that's exactly why. But if once you start making them, of course, you got to spend it. So those are my takeaways.
Interesting, the ones that Roxy chose. Huh? I got to spend the money. That's what
I got to
Grant said.
spend all the money, bro.
Spend the money wisely. So a couple of my takeaways were, I love commit fully. When he talked about no game that you're going to win at doesn't require commitment. I really love how he talked about you're going to have to stay through the swings. And this is something I was actually thinking about yesterday as we were listening to online church, One Church LA. Pastor Tory Roberts talked about you got to get comfortable in the fire. You got to find your home in the fire. And I kind of like this. It's kind of meet the world head on and commit fully. He talks about engaging. And it's like, for me, I've always made sense of it like a boxing match. In a boxing match, if you've ever seen, there's a place where the two fighters are too far for either to get hit. One can't hit and the other can't hit. It's a safe zone, right? If you're 10 feet away from somebody, nobody can throw a punch that will land. But as you get closer and the two are close enough to where a punch could land, it's called being in the pocket. And I feel like the more that you can get comfortable in the pocket, it's where you can get hit, right? You can get the jab, you can get the hook, but it's also where you can hit. And I feel like the difference, I was talking to Roxy yesterday, and I was like, man, you know, we've been experiencing a lot of great growth with our business and Herbalife. If you guys are distributors or not, whatever your personal business is, or, you know, maybe you're doing great at a job. And I was like, you know, I've been thinking about what is it? And for me, what came to a head was we just never quit. We just never quit. That's all it was. And I feel like I really started to understand the power of not quitting, because I've seen some of the people that we work with in the past or that I've seen in other businesses and quit. And guess what? They quit for the couch. They quit for happy hour. They quit for Netflix and chill. They quit for the movies. It's not like they're quitting because they're going to chase another dream and they're like, oh man, they quit because they don't want to, they want to take it easy. They want to chill. And me and Roxy, when it got tough, because it will get tough on your journey. Remember, he said any process that you choose, it does not matter where it is, you're going to have swings. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to be in the pocket and you're going to get hit. And the difference between the successful and the not is not just skill. It's, do you stay in the pocket and keep swinging? Do you stay working? Do you stay in it? Do you stay in the fire? Or do you say, you know what, this is too hard. I need to chill. I need some happy hours in my life. I need some Netflix and chill with burritos. I need some Super Bowl Sunday playoff and the preseason games. And that's what I started to realize. It wasn't a secret sauce. It was, even if the results didn't look like it for Roxy and I at the time, and this is where people would get discouraged, like our business wasn't growing and our income wasn't going up, we were still working hard. It's like if you're gardening a garden and you're doing the soil and you're putting the water and you're investing in the seed and you're hurting your back plowing the soil, and you look and nothing has changed at it. The only difference between the successful and the not, the only difference we did that worked and the people that didn't is we never stopped on the garden.
It goes down to commitment.
It's commitment. It's commitment to the effort regardless of the outcome. It's showing up. It's doing the work. It's those things when nobody's looking that you know is going to get you there that you actually do. And that's the biggest difference when you meet the world head on. When you do those things that are monotonous, that are tedious, that are boring, that are difficult, that are challenging. When you do those things continuously, that was the difference when you commit and you meet the world head on. I love be courageous. Be courageous and invest. Be courageous and spend, because you know what? You want to know when people are really in things, when they put their money where their mouth is. People can talk all day about this and that and this and that. And then when you have people put their money where their mouth is, opinions change very fast. Ask the people that, you know, we have a lot of Herbalife distributors and clients on here. For the people that doubt you in Herbalife, ask them to buy you something else. Say, hey, if you don't believe in Herbalife, buy me some organic other product, or buy me Whole Foods, or buy me another product. Invest in my health, because I'm investing in Herbalife. What are you going to put your money where your mouth is? Or you buy something and get better results than me. This is what I told one of my doubters. We were arguing till 2 a.m, a family member. I said, okay, let's do this. You think kale smoothies are going to change the world. I think Herbalife's going to do it. Let's come back in a year and let's see who has more transformation pictures. Guess what happened when I sent her my transformation pictures? She was like, oh, that's good. I was like, where are yours at? They had none. You got to put your money. You know how much we had to invest to get those transformation pictures, right? We had to get our own products. We had to get our own results. We had to build our own business. We had to create our own challenge program for those clients. We put our money where our mouth is. Somebody with an opinion that had no skin in the game, that had no investment in anything, had an opinion. Remember, it's kind of what he talked about. Don't keep your mind wide open to be unfiltered, taking opinions of people. You got to be courageous, put in your effort, put in your time. So many people say, well, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste money. If you're investing in learning or growing or expanding, you're never wasting your time or money. Either you're going to increase your income or you're going to grow in experience, or maybe both. But your success is not just measured by your money you make. You got to remember that. It's what Jim Rohn teaches us. It's who you become as well is your most important asset. So if you just learn one new thing because you invested 30 minutes in a Triple M, you won. You won. So that was my other one. And then I love, you got to work on a team. This is planet Earth. Like people say, I'm not a people person. I'm an introvert. No, you are a people person. You came from a person. Like nobody came into this world from anybody other than a person. You literally relied on people to be here. You guys know a baby can't live if they're just born and never touched or never cared for. So this is what it is. When people say that, you got to say, when did you decide that? Who told you that? And they're going to be like, what do you mean? Be like, who told you weren't a people person? When did you decide that? Oh, I've just always been this way. When? When did this start? Oh, you know, when I was a kid, my parents told me I was shy and I didn't really like people. A lot of people don't like people. I don't like people most of the time either. That doesn't mean I don't need to be with people. I don't like squats heavy. That doesn't mean I don't need to squat, right? You don't need to like it to need it. I don't like to drink water all day, but I need it, right? I don't like to pay taxes, but we need to, right? We need roads and stuff. So my man was dropping a lot of nuggets today. Let's get a few shares and takeaways. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share. Oh, man, I'm loving it. We got so many new people on. I'm loving it. You guys, this is officially the biggest Triple M ever. 35 people on live. I love it. Let's see. Who's excited? Give me a thumbs up or a smile. I'm looking for somebody that looks like they was really into it, getting nuggets. Liz. What's up, Liz? I see you unmuted. Give us a quick tip. What'd you take?
I joined the meeting pretty late, but I did get some takeaways, especially about working with the team. Don't give up and just keep pushing.
There you go. There you go. As long as you got some nuggets, that's all that matters. Great job tuning in. Let's get another takeaway.
Type it in the chat.
Type in some chat too. I'll read a few from the chat. Let's go, David, my man with the red beard. I see you, bro. Houston in the building. Give us a takeaway.
How you doing, my man? How you doing? The biggest takeaway I got, man, is like investing your time. So that always reminds me. I used to work in the construction field for 10 years, and I hit a limit as far as I could go. And now I've been doing Herbalife now, and after seeing so many testimonies and everything from successful people, I always say, no matter if it takes me 10 or 20 years, I'm gonna stick with it because I know there's no limits to how far you can go as long as you keep working. So that's what I got from today's call.
Love it. No limits. Commit to the journey. Love that, man. Dope. All right, I'm gonna get one more takeaway. Let's get Grace. Let's get a takeaway. Fresh off her leadership development weekend. Give us a nugget from Triple M.
I feel like can you hear me? The biggest one I got was commit fully. Like if you're gonna decide to change anything or work on anything, make sure that you're giving 110% on whatever it is. And that goes with my business. And if I'm gonna commit on helping other people get healthy, I need to make sure I'm committed to it. Even though, like you say, my business is not gonna grow from one day to another, I need to keep on staying committed, and little by little, I'm going to see growth.
Love it. Absolutely. Committed day to day. And you guys, you will see growth day to day, but you got to know how to look for it. These are some ways to look for it. Did you meet new people? Remember, you talked about your network. Did you get better in whatever you promote? If it's Herbalife, your results, your mindset, or whatever business or career you're in. Did you help somebody new that you can expand? Did your business expand today, whether by a client acquisition or adding a new team member? Those are all day-to-day like indicators. Like, for example, I'll give you guys a tip. Roxy and I, if our volume doesn't move in one day, that's not okay with us. Like, not okay. Our goal is to move over 1,000 volume points a day. In Herbalife language, that's about $1,000 of personal client business every day. Goal is really 2,000. So if we don't see that move, we know that there's something that we do that needs to shift. So find your indicators. For us, it's new personal client business every single day and new team members joining our organization, whether it be as preferred members or distributors. So you guys got to set your indicators that are your no matter what. How many new people are you meeting? How many new clients are you doing, wellness evaluation and sharing goals? How many new team members are you presenting this business opportunity, extra income opportunity to? How many people are you mentoring? How many clients are you following up with? How many new results are you getting? What is your business development looking like? What is your personal development looking like? There's something that you can do every single day that may or may not show up in a volume point reflection, but still remember, I told you, if you were to go watch a 60-minute video on how to set up your finances so that your business is stronger, that might not show up in volume points, but it will better your business. So there are ways that you can invest in your soil that won't show up immediately, but that will show up and that you did the investment. So every single day, you guys, we can get better. Use these points that he shared about commitment, teamwork, stay no matter what, stay through the swings. And you guys, pay this forward. Biggest Triple M ever. Thank you guys for inviting people, showing up live. Man, it's been growing like crazy. And pay this forward to your friends and family. Don't leave these with you. You need to make a post about it, share a video about it, invite somebody about it, and share them what you learned this week. Don't leave it with you. And I'm going to take everybody off mute. Let's get this Monday.
Happy Monday, y'all. Let's go, Barbie.
Happy Monday. Let's go.
Let's go. Mindset. All right, y'all. Peace out.